So we'll start off with the most basic topic today. The first unit that you have in research and statistics. We'll do the research part first, then we'll introduce statistics as well. I may start statistics in between just to make sure that you get enough practice before your exam of statistics. So we'll go with the first basic topics at least. उसके बाद we'll get into statistics. Anyway, the first unit deals with research and research process. Okay, so it will have introduction to research, what are scientific जो scientific method है, what are the steps of scientific method and scientific approach, what are the characteristics of research, just the basics, what is research and all. Okay, first of all, if we talk about introduction and need of nursing research, introduction and need for nursing research. See, research itself, think of research as a way wherein you are trying to improve upon the work that has already been done. ठीक है, यहाँ पर in research it is a very systematic process wherein you are using a scientific method to generate some new knowledge. ठीक है, uh, that knowledge might be used to solve problems, or sometimes you might find out new things. You are trying to improve existing systems. ठीक है, for example, let us suppose we go back a few thousand years. ठीक है, or let's suppose we go back a few hundred years. ठीक है, let's suppose the uh, time is about um, 600 AD or 700 AD example. ठीक है, and let's suppose at that time a chair was not developed example. Let us suppose at that time there were no chairs and there was no furniture as such. So research, or someone who was doing research on wood and what all objects you can make from wood, someone came up with an object on which you can sit down. Okay, while not completely sitting down on the floor, someone made an object which was making sure that people can neatly sit down, sit on a chair or some object which is higher from the ground, and they can get up and walk again. That is how a chair was made. So they were researching wood and its properties, and later on what they did is they came up with a chair. Okay, now the first chair that would have been made would be of wood. ठीक है, पहली चेयर जो बनी थी वो लकड़ी की थी. Later on someone did research again, okay, can I use some other material to make a chair? Maybe after a few hundred years, chair made of metal came out, and after a few more hundred years, during the modern era, when plastic started being used quite a lot, plastic chairs started coming out. So यहाँ पर you can see a classic example. You are taking some material and you are creating something new completely out of it. That itself is research, and what has already been created, that is being improved upon. So maybe from a wooden chair you are making a metallic chair which is more sturdy, and from a metallic chair you are making a plastic chair. Plastic chair might not be as sturdy as metal, but it is much more lighter, it is much more portable, you can move it around much more easily when compared to a metal chair. ठीक है, so on and so forth. This is essentially research. आप क्या कर रहे हैं research में? You are creating new knowledge, you are generating new knowledge, or you are improving on existing systems. ठीक है, by using certain scientific methods for fact discovery and allowing for application of that knowledge in new ways to make it more practical. ठीक है, how does it fit into nursing? Now, nursing research will generally provide a fresh understanding of diseases. Okay, it might be fresh understanding of disease or drug mechanism, or maybe you are discovering better disease management methods. Okay, for example, acha, let us suppose the first time someone performed a surgery on a human. Here, let's suppose we go 300-400 years back when surgeries were started, or let's suppose even further back when the first surgery was performed. People used to, what do you call, cut open someone's. Let's suppose someone is having a tumor, or someone broke their ankle, or some fracture occurred, and the skin tore open. So in that surgery, what you are doing is you are placing the bone back in its place and you are stitching the wound. Okay. Now, when you are doing this, obviously there'll be a lot of pain. So the first time they tried to do it, obviously the patient might have had to endure that pain to undergo that process. Over time, what happened is through research they found out that there are different materials that can be used as analgesics, that can be used as painkillers for that procedure. That is why later on what you call patients को थोड़े जड़ी बूटी देने लगे, या patients were given certain natural or synthetic drugs that were made so that they can bear the pain of that surgery. For example, opium was a very classic analgesic that was used for surgeries for a long period of time. ठीक है, opium poppy जो plant रहता, उसका extract will contain a lot of opium. Opium itself is a plant that contains morphine. Morphine, codeine, उस वो plant के अंदर naturally रहता. So when you give that drug to the patient will lose consciousness. So for that period of time, you can perform the surgery safely, and even after the surgery, during the part of recovery, you can keep giving the drug or you can keep giving the plant for an extended period of time till the patient's body has adjusted to the pain. Okay, this involved a lot of research. I hope you are understanding. If you're not understanding anything, if you want me to stop and repeat anything, if you have doubts, please feel free to stop me, and
No,
you can,
sir.
अगर कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा तो you can stop me at any time. I don't mind. ठीक है,
No, sir. We can understand, sir.
ठीक है. I hope the others can understand as well. See,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
only
Yes, sir, we
doing
can understand, sir.
uh, बहुत ऊपर ऊपर से ही जा रहा हूँ मैं रिसर्च. आई एम नॉट गोइंग इनटू डिटेल येट. आई विल गेट इनटू डिटेल. ठीक है, दिस इज अ बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन टू रिसर्च, हाउ इट वाज डेवलप्ड, how it can be used, and specifically how it can be used in nursing specifically. Okay, now you can use research for developing new nursing theories as well. Now there might be new diagnostic tools that you can develop that might be better suited for diagnosis of certain condition. For example, now the general method of measuring blood pressure is through a sigma thermometer. You know that already. Okay. Generally, आप क्या करते हैं? You tie that sigma thermometer, the band, to the patient's arm, generally left arm, and you can use either arm. But let's suppose you are putting it on the left arm and you are measuring blood pressure. You know this better than I do already. Nowadays, later on, sigma thermometer became a little hassle worthy and it needs skill. Definitely, it will need a little bit of practice for you to get used to sigma thermometer. That is why what happened is later on certain biotechnological companies, they came up with a digital this thing digital BB measuring tool. Okay, even though there
Yes,
are a lot of
yes, yeah.
errors with that measuring
Mm.
tool, but still you can use it. Okay, that was a development on the existing process. Later on what they did was, okay, I have developed the electronic tool, it works but it has a lot of errors. So the next part of research came where you were improving on that work, meaning you are trying to make that machine even more accurate. So for example, if you look at BB measuring machines from 10 years ago, they might have a huge error index, meaning they will give a error of maybe plus 20, plus or minus 20. Okay, 20 by 10 mmHg, meaning if the patient's blood pressure is actually 120 by 80, it might show plus or minus 20 in systolic, meaning it might show anywhere between 100 to 140. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Now maybe after doing a lot more research and maybe they are coming up with better methods, they changed those machines in such a way, or they improved those machines in such a way that this error profile has changed from plus or minus 20, maybe now it is plus or minus 2, 2 by 1 example. Okay. So if the patient's blood pressure is actually 120 by 80, it might show 122 or it might show 118, because which is a huge improvement compared to earlier. That is also a way through which you are applying research in a practical way, wherein you are improving the current methods and current practices. Okay, that is one way. Research also helps you develop intellectual competence. It will help you see things very objectively. It will help you fill a lot of knowledge gaps. Generally, if you start reading a lot of research papers, scientific papers, published papers, you'll find on journals and all, you'll see that a lot of your knowledge, the gaps in your knowledge that you get, will be filled. Because for example, let us suppose you are studying about Parkinson's disease. Example, you are studying about some disease, not just Parkinson, you are studying about some disease in a textbook. Now in a textbook they'll give you a very how should I put it, cookie cutter kind of approach, in the sense that this is what happens. They will not tell you the difference between each and every patient. Most of the time they will not tell you what kind of differences will come in patients when they have some other comorbid condition. For example, let us suppose there is AIDS. Now, in general, in textbooks, you will find AIDS is caused by HIV, so and so happens. This is present, and this is the pathophysiology of the what do you call, disease. This is how the disease develops, and then the later years, so and so symptoms and signs will appear. Let us suppose you come up with a doubt that, okay, if a patient is having AIDS, they are having so and so problems. And in later stages of AIDS, patients will become severely immunocompromised. Okay, their immunity will be severely affected. That is when opportunistic infections will occur, meaning other infections that should not have occurred normally will occur in these patients because their immunity is severely hampered. Let us suppose you want to find out what happens in patients who are developing AIDS at an early stage and they are immunocompromised initially. Let us suppose they have an autoimmune condition. For example, they have psoriasis or they have SLE or some other autoimmune condition, and they have early stage of AIDS. What will be the condition in such patients? अब ऐसे certain special scenarios को ढूंढना and मालूम करना will be slightly difficult in textbooks. ठीक है? Even if there is information about it, it will be very limited. In such scenarios, research helps because you will find a lot of research papers being published, wherein they are studying AIDS patients, and among those patients as well, you will find that some of those studies included patients who have autoimmune conditions or very similar patients who were on immunomodulators, patients who were either immunocompromised or patients who were either immunosuppressed. So you can correlate the conditions in such scenario. So research will help you fill a lot of gaps in that scenario. Okay? It will provide a basis of professionalism. Other than that, you can discover new measures for nursing practices. You can implement those measures in your own practice, and you can improve the kind of care that you give to a patient, or you can improve the general care that is being given in that ward or in that hospital specifically. Okay? You'll generally improve the standard of education as well. Now, coming to scientific method and scientific approach as such, steps of scientific method. Now, scientific approach is a systemic, how should I put it? It's a system of logical and orderly elements. Okay? You are trying to structure your questions through scientific method. Now, scientific method itself, the way you think for research will fall under two categories. You have inductive kind of reasoning and deductive reasoning. What does these mean? First, we'll look at inductive. Inductive reasoning, essentially what you're doing is it involves a process of observation. From observation, you are reaching a conclusion. For example, let us suppose uh, it is the month of July and June. Let us suppose it is monsoon season in India. Okay, and during monsoon season, you generally see a sharp rise in patients who are having malaria, patients who are having dengue. Okay, now, let us suppose you have been in hospital for 2-3 years. Every June, every July, whenever monsoon season comes, you will see that normally there will be a few patients of malaria, dengue, and other infectious diseases. But in certain scenarios, in these specific months, you will see that there is a sharp rise in those cases. Now, it can be attributed to the rise in mosquito levels. ठीक है? So यहाँ पर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप एक observation कर रहे हैं कि okay, your observation is there is increase in the number of cases of malaria and dengue in the months of monsoon. ठीक है? Whenever monsoon comes. Conclusion that you derive over time or over a few years is that because now there are several conclusions, but one conclusion that you can derive is because the number of mosquitoes are increasing during this period of time, it is safe to assume that the number of patients of malaria and dengue are increasing because जैसा mosquito की population बढ़ती, there is a higher chance that more number of mosquitoes are infecting more number of people, and as a result the patients of मलेरिया एंड डेंगू आर इंक्रीजिंग. तो यहाँ पर आप क्या कर रहे हैं? पहले एक ऑब्जर्वेशन बना रहे, वो ऑब्जर्वेशन से यू आर रीचिंग अ पर्टिकुलर कंक्लूजन. दिस इज इंडक्टिव मेथड ऑफ रीजनिंग. ठीक है? दिस विल इन्वॉल्व ऑब्जर्वेशन ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ इंस्टेंसेस, ठीक है, which belong to or are can be identified as a part of a larger set. From that observation you are reaching a specific conclusion. ठीक है? It will begin with a observation, it will end up in a conclusion. Deductive reasoning is the opposite. Deductive reasoning में you have a certain scenario that you are already seeing. ठीक है? For example, same scenario में, let us suppose you are there now. For example, let us suppose there are two nurses in a ward. Like example, let us suppose there is a Ratama and Padma who is working who are working in some general ward in a hospital. Example, ठीक है? And they are observing patients in 2017, 18, 19, 20 and 21. ठीक है? 5 years. Now let's suppose Ratama observes that in what do you call, in monsoon season, I generally see that there are more and more patients who are coming with a certain amount of certain cases. For example, they are coming with dengue and malaria. ठीक है? अब यहाँ से she is inferring that from this observation, she is inferring that what do you call, she is concluding that it might be because of more number of mosquitoes. ठीक है? This is what Ratama observed. ठीक है? For example, during the same time, what Padma is observing is that in her surroundings or in general, she's seeing that there are more and more number of mosquitoes that are coming. ठीक है? The population of mosquitoes and the number of mosquitoes are increasing. You'll also generally see that GHMC or any municipality, they'll start spraying the mosquito repellent drug in the air and all of that. There's a machine that comes around and goes around in different localities and they'll start spraying that. In any scenario, she is observing such instances. So यहाँ पर उन्होंने क्या कर रहे हैं? She is first of all observing there are higher population of mosquitoes that are coming. From this, she might infer that okay, if mosquito population is increasing, it is safe to assume that that might be the reason behind dengue and malaria. ठीक है? So you get the point here. Inductive reasoning में आप क्या कर रहे हैं? Observation से conclusion को जा रहे हैं. ये deductive reasoning में you are going from the conclusion to your observation. ठीक है? Essentially both of them are they are related, but depends on how you are looking at it. Or to put it in a more simpler way, inductive reasoning aims at developing a theory. Okay? Through inductive reasoning, you are trying to develop a theory. You are seeing something and you are developing a theory. Deductive reasoning will try to test that theory. ठीक है? वो theory correct है या नहीं है वो test करने की कोशिश करते आप deductive reasoning से. I hope ये समझ में आया what is the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning. If you have doubts or if you want me to repeat, please feel free to ask. You can put it in the chat as well if you're not able to use your microphone.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Ramiza here.
Mm.
The two nurses, they have observed the same thing,
Mm.
like the spread of malaria and the number of increase of mosquitoes. Is this both conclusions, they are correct, sir, in the research?
See, yes, they are technically correct in research. यहाँ पर क्या है, आप it depends on how you are looking at it. ठीक है?
Okay.
See, inductive reasoning में you are going from a particular observation that you see. I told the same scenario आप अलग way से देखें तो वैसा भी देख सकते हैं. For example, let's suppose I talk inductive reasoning from the point of Padma, wherein she is seeing a more number of cases of mosquito. Let us suppose I go from an inductive method in this scenario. Inductive method में first she is seeing, depends on the observation, what you are observing first. Let us suppose she is observing what do you call, she's observing that there are more number of dengue cases or malaria. The conclusion she derives is that there are more number of mosquitoes, because of that it might be increase in cases. Whereas other scenario में आप पहले conclusion से देख रहे, conclusion से आप question find करने की कोशिश कर रहे क्यों हो रहा, बल्कि यहाँ पर आप कुछ देख रहे उससे आप क्यों find करने की कोशिश कर रहे. It is very similar but there is slight difference. You in inductive reasoning you are going from observation to conclusion. It depends on your observation, what you observe first. ठीक है? आप थोड़े और examples देखें तो आपको easy हो जाता. For example, अच्छा, let me put it this way. Normally in during 2000s, or let me put it this way, from 1980s to 2000s, let us suppose example, okay, let us suppose the number of new diabetes mellitus cases in India were about uh, 5 lakhs. Example, okay, let us suppose over the 20-year period from 1980 to 2000s, the total number of new cases of diabetes that came in India, or one city, let us suppose in Hyderabad, example, okay, in Hyderabad were 5 lakhs, okay. From 2000s to 2020, okay, or just 2000, let's suppose 2000s ka ko, 1980 to 2000 and 2001 to 2020, let us suppose the increase in the number of diabetes mellitus cases for 50 lakhs, 10 times increase. You are observing this, okay. Let's suppose someone is observing the data from 1980 to 2000, 5 lakhs increase हुए, 2000 से 2020 तक कितने increase हुए, 50 lakhs increase हुए. Now यहाँ पर cases of diabetes mellitus are increasing, that is the observation. Why they are increasing, okay, that will be, let's suppose you can attribute to maybe more accessible junk food that is present. Let's suppose more number of McDonald's, or more number of people are simply starting to live a more sedentary lifestyle. People are eating more junk food. So आप यहाँ पर क्या कर रहे हैं, आप एक कंक्लूजन ले रहे हैं, वो कंक्लूजन से आप उसका रीजन फाइंड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, आप कंक्लूजन से ऑब्जर्वेशन को जा रहे हैं. दैट ऑब्जर्वेशन इज दैट अराउंड यू यू विल सी दैट there are easier methods for you to get unhealthy. Okay, it is more accessible for you. For I'll give you one example. It is easier for you to go to a Pizza Hut and eat a pizza. It'll become slightly less expensive, or any other pizza joint, not just Pizza Hut, any pizza joint, random pizza joint, and eat a pizza, versus going to a hotel and try to eat a more healthy meal that might cost you a lot more money. So it is logical to say that people will opt for that Pizza Hut, or they might opt for Subway or something like that. Okay, now once in a while it is fine, but again and again, over a long period of time, if you are repeating the same behavior, it will result in diabetes. I'm not telling it will happen, but you get the point. Sedentary lifestyle, junk food, etc etc, a lot of things will happen, and ultimately they might develop diabetes. तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले diabetes एक जो number है patients का वो देख रहे. Okay, you are trying to find out how did this happen. That how will come from your surroundings. तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, conclusion से आप observation को जा रहे. On the other hand, if you look at it the other way, in 1980 to 2000, there were very few outlets who were serving pizzas, very few outlets who were serving junk food. Even if you see what you call simple idli vada bandis, like the small stalls that you see on the road, there were very few of them earlier in 1980s to 2000. Nowadays you will find one in every gully, and you might even find 2 to 3 of them in a single lane. Okay, so you can see that it is much more accessible for people to have food from outside if they are not able to cook it at their home, leading to increase in the number of diabetes mellitus cases. तो यहाँ पर क्या कर रहे हैं, if you look at it from a case point of view, case से आप cause को जा रहे हैं, cause in the sense the vertical, let's suppose the number of stores. So you are going from conclusion to observation, versus let us suppose you look at it inductively. Inductively you are first observing that okay, the number of shops and stalls who are selling food have increased sharply. Has this had an effect on patient's health? Has this had an effect on any specific disease? You conclude that yes, it did have. That conclusion is that there are higher number of patients who have diabetes and hypertension. That is your conclusion. So आप पहले scenario में you are going from conclusion to observation. Second scenario में you are going from observation to conclusion. Depends on what you are observing first. समझ में आया? It is tricky, but it is very similar. Okay, no problem. Chalo, now continuing to this thing. See, the scientific method as such will have 7 major steps. There are 7 main steps to any scientific method. First step, I'll just list out all the steps, then we'll discuss each one of them. Observation, research, hypothesis, experiment, 5, collection of data, 6, analysis, 7, conclusion. These are the 7 steps to any scientific method. How do you start? Let us suppose Madhulika wants to do a research on, example, she wants to do a research on sleep apnea. Okay? She is working in some XYZ hospital and she wants to research about sleep apnea. First of all, what she'll have to do is she'll have to approach the management. Pehle she has to observe whether or not she gets enough amount of sleep apnea patients in the hospital. Okay? After she observes that, okay, let's suppose I'm getting a decent number of cases of sleep apnea in my hospital wherein I can perform research. What she will do is she'll approach the management of her hospital. Let us suppose she's going to the hospital administrator and she is proposing a research. एक pilot study के लिए आप observe आप permission पूछ रहे. Pilot study is a small study. ठीक है? You are taking a very small population and you are trying to test your theory. ठीक है? You are trying to find out what let's suppose you are trying to find out what age group is getting affected, what age group is getting affected with sleep apnea the most, and what is the distinction, is it more in men or is it more in women. Let us suppose that is what you are trying to find out, and you are even trying to categorize it based on age. So for example 0 to 18 years में कितने patients है, 18 to 60 years में कितने patients है, 60 plus में कितने patients है. 3 categories you are creating. You go to the hospital administrator and you tell them, see, I have this experiment that I want to perform. I want to find this data, and if possible, I want to publish this data. You can make it a research paper. You might get a permission for the pilot study. Pilot study पे आप क्या कर रहे हैं? You are only trying to test your theory first. ठीक है? Whether or not this research can be done on a large scale is a different scenario. आप पहले वो कर सकते या नहीं कर सकते वो टेस्ट कर रहे हैं. So let us suppose the population that you look at is about 15 people. ठीक है? पायलट स्टडी की पॉपुलेशन जनरली बहुत छोटी रहती. नाउ पायलट स्टडी में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले जा रहे हैं आप मेडिकल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर से परमिशन ले रहे हैं. इफ ही और शी गिव्स यू द परमिशन टू प्रोसीड विद द experiment, let us suppose you go to them and tell, look, you have so many sleep apnea patients in our hospital, you might as well do some research on it. So they might suggest you something, okay, take the help of this person as well, or you can go and talk to this doctor, they might be able to help you, so on and so forth. They might tell you something about it and you start the research. Let's suppose you observe sleep apnea patients over a period of 1 week, and you question 15 people. You try to find out what is their lifestyle, if they suffer from any other comorbidity, if any other comorbidity is causing sleep apnea, or they have sleep apnea directly, if it is a genetic way or familial hai ya kaisa hai. All of that you are trying to find out, and you are trying to categorize them based on age group, and you are trying to categorize them based on their gender. 1 second, this meeting is about to end. I'll send you another link in the group. Join that group, okay? 1 second.